Greetings and salutations, everyone. This video is going to be epic. Why, you may ask? Because I'm going to go over the battle plan, the battle that's going on in your body between the Epstein Barr Virus and your immune system. Oh, you gotta stay tuned for this. Till the end, stay tuned. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is Manuel Chamizo, also known as the Alkalized Man. Now, the reasoning for this video is something that has touched me intimately because my significant other, Evelyn, my fiance, has the Epstein Barr Virus. Also, my mom has the Epstein Barr Virus. My dad has the Epstein Barr Virus. Myself. Also, my other family and friends. I have a buddy that has fibromyalgia. I have a buddy that has lupus. I have another friend that has all these other issues dealing with her thyroid. It's insane. So, how many people do you know that have some of these issues with their thyroid? So, what this video is going to cover is what is the Epstein Barr Virus doing inside the body? And while it's doing this, the different stages that it goes through inside your body and how your body is fighting against the Epstein Barr Virus, fighting the invader before it enters the castle. Yeah. So stay tuned till all the way to the very end, because at the very end of the video, I will give you an extra little nugget, a little extra nugget. Okay? So let's go with this. So when the Epstein Barr Virus enters the body, the Epstein Barr Virus is doing multiple things. And this is what the Epstein Barr Virus is doing while it's in your body. So the first thing that the Epstein Barr Virus does, it eats the toxins that you've been consuming through your daily foods. It eats those toxins such as heavy metals, excess adrenaline, even eggs. So it eats that, then it poops. Yep, it poops. It poops even more toxins. Right. So you eat your foods that have these toxins, the Epstein Barr Virus eats those toxins, and then it poops something that's even more toxic. So that's extra work for your liver. It's insane. Now, the next one is viral corpses. Yep. It dies in your body. So the average lifespan of an Epstein Barr Virus is about 6 weeks. So when the Epstein Barr Virus dies, when those particular cells die, it pretty much produces other collections of toxins. It's already excreting toxins and it's just going through your system. So when these guys die, these guys are also accumulating in your liver and your lymphatic system. And the symptoms that may follow is a sluggish, and often that contributes to liver issues, and it also leads towards fatigue, weight gain, fluid retention, constipation, bloating, hot flashes, heart flutters, brain fog, and premenopause and or menopause. So when these corpses are going through your intestines, the craziest part is when the medical labs test your fecal matter, they mistakenly diagnose you with parasitic activities. Yeah, ain't that crazy? So the next thing that the Epstein Barr Virus releases is neurotoxins. Where is it getting neurotoxins? Well, basically it eats the mercury and the other heavy metals that comes from your food, and the byproduct is neurotoxins, which is pretty much just poisons that disrupts your nervous system. So when you're going through these symptoms as getting this damage from the neurotoxins, it damages and kills healthy cells around the organs and connective tissues. And these neurotoxins are also preventing your immune system from zeroing and tagging the Epstein Barr Virus. It's insane. So the next one is dermal toxins. What is dermal toxins? Well, let me explain. So dermatoxins is the byproduct from the Epstein Barr virus, where its source for these dermatoxins is from herbicides and pesticides from DDT, as well as copper. So if you have excess copper, you gotta check up on that. But where are you getting your herbicides and pesticides? You get it from your fruits and vegetables, from what they're doing at the farms, the cropping and all that other stuff. So what these dermatoxin does is toxins that tend to lead through the skin, causing irritation, pain, itching, and or rashes. So this may explain your eczema, your psoriasis, and your psoriatic arthritis. Very bad stuff. So let's go into the nitty-gritty of the 4 stages of the Epstein Barr virus. Now, this is where it gets into an epic situation. So you know what the Epstein Barr virus does. Byproduct, corpses, neurotoxins, dermatoxins. Okay, with those combination of the 4, this is what's going to happen inside your body. So open up those ears. Okay, stage 1 is this. When the Epstein Barr virus enters your body, this is the symptoms you may get. Mild fatigue, more susceptible to colds, flus, and earaches. You may get a sore throat. Nothing too uneventful. That's it. That's stage 1. And that's basically, it enters the body, your immune system says, yo, what's up? Okay, get out of here. Kicks it in the nose. Okay. The next stage, stage 2 of the Epstein Barr virus. So the symptoms of stage 2 is mono. Basically, it's mononucleosis. Hopefully I'm saying that right. So this is one little crazy part. 70% of college students will get mono sometimes within their 4 years. Like I said, the Epstein Barr virus is extremely contagious. You can kiss a girl, kiss somebody. You can hold their hands. You can go to the public bathroom. You can get it anywhere. Someone sneezing right next to you, somewhere in class. I mean, it's everywhere. Okay, that's besides. Now, also the Epstein Barr virus is also can be given to your babies in birth. And this is one little thing. When babies get mono, they're typically diagnosed with rheumatic fever or glandular fever, not mono. And that's because the Epstein Barr virus has now affected your kid or your newborn baby. It's insane. Okay, so as an adult, teen and adult and so on. So you'll go through the symptoms of mono. What is mono? Well, mono is like a scratchy throat near the thyroid, right? And sometimes fatigue, either for weeks or for months. So in this phase, the virus is now attacking your immune system. I mean, in the most underwhelming way. The battle has begun. Okay, so during mono, your body's immune system is now at war with the Epstein Barr virus. And the main goal in phase 2 is for the Epstein Barr virus to take down your lymphatic system. So let me put this up here. The main goal of the Epstein Barr virus is to attack your nervous central system. But it has to go through a few stages first to break down the walls of your castle. So in stage 2, first part is it tries to attack your immune system. And as it's attacking your immune system, the next phase is the lymphatic system. So your immune system responds by sending identifier cells that's tagging the Epstein Barr virus. And as those cells are tagged, your body will kill those cells. Kill the Epstein Barr virus. So your mono symptoms might be mild or go to severe. So you may even get to the point where it becomes a sore throat, a fever, a headache, and or you start developing rashes. So after a week or several months of this mono, the Epstein Barr virus will get to a point where after it loses the war with your immune system, then it goes into the nesting phase. And when it starts to move from your immune system down to an organ, it wants to go to a place that it can feed and survive, which is your liver. Why the liver? Well, the liver deals with all the toxins that the body has to filter. So if you're eating garbage foods, if you're eating foods you're not supposed to, those have an abundance of toxins. And the Epstein Barr virus will go into the liver, eat those toxins, but also spit out even worse of those type of toxins. So the liver is pretty much a big filter, and it deals with mercury, diotoxins, unhealthy fats, poisons, and it's been passed down through generations of all the foods you've been eating over the years. And it pretty much goes through the matter of waste that is accumulated. And during this time, the virus is still like thriving. So you have to get to a point where you start asking yourself that, was there any point that you started gaining weight? Yes. Well, let me explain. This is just the mild version. So if all of a sudden you start gaining weight, or you're doing all these exercises and you're eating awesome and you're still gaining weight, this is one of the reasons why you're gaining this weight, is because of the Epstein Barr virus is living in your liver. And you're becoming more tired, you're having lack of motivation, you're having a little bit of brain fog, you're not able to focus. That's because the Epstein Barr virus is releasing more of those neurotoxins, dermotoxins, and other things. Okay, so when the Epstein Barr virus is nesting in your liver, it's also elevating your A1C levels, which is also getting you closer or already pushing you over the edge to diabetes type 2. You also may experience high cholesterol, hepatitis A, B, C, D, fibrosis, liver inflammation, development of sensitivity of foods that were never problematic, so basically like milk, becoming lactose, right? And low hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach, and also which translates to bloating, constipation, difficulty in digesting your food, and toxic buildup in your intestines, which is often blamed to leaky gut syndrome. So during the time that it's releasing all these different toxins into your liver, it may also move, like a little extra Epstein Barr virus may borrow itself into your spleen, because the spleen is another filter. And it may also move some troops over to your reproductive system. Oh snap. So not just the liver, now the spleen and your reproductive areas. So this is where it gets into the point where your spleen may get inflamed because of the invasion of the Epstein Barr virus, where it leads to inflammation, which is also enlarging your spleen. And some people may feel that once their spleen is inflated, they may feel bloating or tenderness on their left side underneath their ribs. Now, for women, we're going to break this up in two: women and then men. So when the Epstein Barr virus enters the reproductive system with women, they may go into the symptoms of fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is PCOS, pregnancy complications, which sucks. Now, for men, it goes into our pancreas. Basically, it can lead us to pancreas cancer. So, stage 2 can last roughly between 1 month to 20 years. 2 decades! Oh, so the average so far amongst the population is it can last, stage 2 can last between 4 to 5 years. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. Let's talk about, now this gets into some heavy stuff. This gets into a whole new level of what the Epstein Barr virus is about to do in your body. This is the battle plan. Stage 3 of the Epstein Barr virus. Okay, so in stage 2, you've already gone through a whole thing dealing with mono. Now, with stage 3, after the nesting phase, when you go through one of the triggers, which I've explained in the previous videos, when you have a triggering event, that's when the Epstein Barr virus gets the alert and says, oh, I think there's something going on here. The immune system is now acting up. All right, soldiers, it's time to attack. The Epstein Barr virus starts the attack. So you may get another mild mono event. So the Epstein Barr virus starts filling the liver with an abundance of toxins that is released into the lymphatic system and into the bloodstream, which is confusing the crap out of your system, which is also confusing your lymphocytes. You may be asking, what the heck is the lymphocytes? The lymphocytes are pretty much your officers, your elites of the elites. Your lymphocytes is actually another immune system that's pretty much individualized. It is specific to your thyroid. Yeah, you have two immune systems. You have your immune system from your gut, and you also have an immune system for your thyroid. So, your lymphocytes is your elites. So what the Epstein Barr virus is doing at this time is it's releasing all these neurotoxins, dermal toxins, and corpse and all this stuff. It's confusing the crap out of your system. Your system is saying, I'm having a problem here, I'm having a problem over here, I'm having a problem on all these different locations. So the battle plan is to send all these red lights away from the thyroid. So it gets to the point, it gets bad enough with all these different symptoms to the point where your lymphocytes, your elites, start to move away from the base. So while they move away from the base, then the Epstein Barr virus starts to attack the thyroid. So what's going on? So during this time that your lymphocytes are moving on, you may be getting to the point where you may be getting to the thyroid issues that are often mistaken for aging and autoimmune diseases and whatnot, and menopause. Ooh. Okay. Now, when the Epstein Barr virus, when some of those soldiers get into the thyroid, they start to shapeshift. They start to twist and twist to the point where they start drilling into your thyroid. And during this drilling moment, this is when it's killing off your thyroid cells and also scarring the gland. Okay? So as it's digging deeper and deeper into your thyroid to at least get into the surface of the thyroid, your thyroid is actually using its immune system to start attacking the thyroid, which the doctors say, but no, it's actually the immune system that's trying to attack the Epstein Barr virus that's drilling into your thyroid. So some of those corpses that die off from drilling your thyroid, they start to go through the body and also leave the body, and some of your doctors may think that you may have Lyme disease. Okay, so as the Epstein Barr virus is drilling deeper and deeper into the thyroid, your thyroid and your immune system is working even harder to try to kill the Epstein Barr virus. Now, this is also, remember that your immune system tags the Epstein Barr virus, but once the Epstein Barr virus goes deep to the point where the immune system can't get through, they can't tag those particular Epstein Barr virus that's actually in the house doing the damage, because your immune system is dealing with the people that's outside the house. So as the Epstein Barr virus is drilling into your thyroid, you also have to remember that the Epstein Barr virus is camping in your liver, spleen, and your reproductive system, and is still continuing on feeding on those toxins. So basically, the hub of the Epstein Barr virus is living in your liver, the second hub is your spleen, and the third hub is the reproductive area. So it's still contributing to these multiple issues, and feeding off the toxins, which is still continuing on the sluggish, stagnant fatty liver. It's also contributing to infertility, heart palpitations, digestive discomfort, and or brain fog. So because the drilling, even though the Epstein Barr virus is drilling into your thyroid, it is in the house. This is still labeled mild. Yeah, so it's been drilling through the door, it's in the hallway. It's in the hallway. This is still labeled as mild. And because this is mild, there's millions of women that have this hidden hypothyroidism problem. And basically, because it's mild, we think it's just part of life. We're busy, we have to eat, we're on the go. And because it's mild, it's a global, widespread epidemic situation. It sucks. That's why I also mentioned there's a high possibility between 80 to 90% of our country, even our neighborhoods, our world, has the Epstein Barr virus. So as the Epstein Barr virus is entering the house, it's causing all these different types of inflammation. Now the inflammation is pretty much caused by the invasion itself in your house, through your walls. And the second one is due to the damage inside your house. And sometimes the medical industry thinks it's your immune system that's attacking your thyroid, which in technicality is just your immune system trying to do its best to kill the virus before it enters deeper into the house. So as things are getting more and more aggressive dealing with your thyroid is going to either react in two different directions. And it may lead towards hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism. Most cases dealing with hypo. So as it gets more and more aggressive, the hypothyroidism starts to become more and more aggressive, where it becomes and gets labeled as Hashimoto's. And basically, it's just an advanced version of hypothyroidism. Now, this is one crazy part. For all you new mothers, and all the mothers that became mothers, childbirth is a common trigger for Hashimoto's. You gotta deal with a newborn baby and now you're gonna deal with Hashimoto's. Come on. Okay, so with hyperthyroidism, also known as Graves', is basically your thyroid is producing so much hormones to try to deal with the issues. It's trying to repair itself to deal with the Epstein Barr virus, which is pretty much leads towards Graves'. So during this stage 3 battle, your immune system is basically now at war within the walls. Not just outside the walls, but also within the walls. And because it's an on and off battle, you may start getting these type of flare-ups. Basically, your immune system is winning or the Epstein Barr virus is winning. A tug of war. So during this battle, you may be receiving these particular type of issues, such as fatigue, brain fog, heart flutters, bloating, confusion, hot flashes, anxiety, sleeping issues, aches and pains, chronic soreness or chronic sore throat, mild fever, tingles and numbness, thinning of the hair, brittle nails, dry skin, and dizziness. So as your thyroid is now dealing with the battle inside the house, your thyroid also does this. It starts to collect calcium throughout your body and tries to imprison the Epstein Barr virus inside the calcium. And you start developing these lumps into your thyroid in the lymphatic nodules. And this may lead towards cancerous tumors that may develop in your thyroid due to the high toxins that the Epstein Barr virus, the trapped Epstein Barr virus, is releasing within those prisons. So the Epstein Barr virus's next phase after attacking the lymphatic system is to go after the endocrine system. So when the thyroid is getting bombarded from the attack, now the thyroid switches over to the endocrine, which needs more adrenaline. So it goes to your adrenals and kicks it over to overdrive. And like I said, one of the favorite foods of the Epstein Barr virus is adrenaline. So now you're just flooding it with the very foods that it wants, and it's making it bigger, stronger, more aggressive, and drilling even bigger. I mean, you're just pretty much like putting more oil in the flame. And that's when it gets to that point where it switches over to the next phase. Now, okay. So now that's in stage 3, nearing the end of the phase of stage 3. Now your thyroid is giving all the fuel that the Epstein Barr virus has been wanting the entire time. Now it gets to stage 4. So in your house, you poured oil on the flame. It's a bigger flame. They're in their house. They're in your castle. They're within the walls. But remember, you also have the Epstein Barr virus's hubs. You still have their base that's living in your liver, spleen, and your reproductive areas. Now, so during stage 4, your body may start to create these mysterious symptoms. Now, these mysterious symptoms can develop as early as in their teens as well as in the 20s. Now, some of these symptoms is fatigue, confusion, anxiety, depression, despondency, stomach aches, and racing thoughts. Okay, well, a lot of people deal with those things, but they've also been labeled as attention deficit hyperactive disorder, also known as ADHD. Some people have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, candida, or depersonalization. What? Oh snap, I've heard of those issues. Now, with ADHD, like I mentioned, the Epstein Barr virus is releasing neurotoxins, byproducts of toxins, corpses, and dermal toxins. And these things are causing brain fog and confusion for people with ADHD. And it's making it very, very difficult to focus. And it's also alternating with the racing thoughts and the restlessness. Okay, and typically ADHD is due to a mercury cause. So if you're diagnosed with ADHD, it may be just the Epstein Barr virus. So bipolar disorder is pretty much a flatness of neurological fatigue and neurotoxin induced. So either the brain is tired or it's being induced with so much neurotoxins, which is kicking up into a flurry. Candida. Now this is pretty much the Epstein Barr virus and the results of liver dysfunction causing gut trouble. So with depersonalization for young folks is basically the Epstein Barr virus releasing neurotoxins, which is short-circuiting the neurological communications, which is interfering with the development of the brain. Like I mentioned, for young folks, because the brain is still developing all the way up to your 20s. So because it's still not fully functioning or still in the development, this may subside on the development of the brain. So no matter the age, the Epstein Barr virus may have created these mysterious illnesses such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, also known as CFS, rheumatoid arthritis, RA, tendinitis, vertigo, Meniere's disease, pulmonary fibrosis, cystic fibrosis, intestinal lung disease, hopefully I'm saying this right, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, other connective tissue disorders, hopefully I'm saying this right, sarcoidosis, restless leg syndrome, or multiple sclerosis, also known as MS. So you guys are having a very, very hard time. I'm so sorry. But at least this is one of the identifications of the cause of those issues. So during stage 4, the Epstein Barr virus is releasing neurotoxins, which floods into your bloodstream and travels to your brain. Now this is shortening the neurotransmitters, plus the virus inflames and goes after the nerves throughout your body, making them more sensitive and developing these allergies towards the neurotoxins. So this may have this common experience where you're having a heavier brain fog, memory loss, confusion, depression, anxiety, migraines, joint pain, nerve pain, heart palpitations, eye floaters, restless legs, ringing in the ears, insomnia, difficulty from healing from your injuries, and many, many, many more. So this is where it gets really, really important. Like I said, the Epstein Barr Virus's goal to attack your central nervous system. So when your nerves are now injured, the body is trying to flood healing in those particular areas. It is also telling the Epstein Barr Virus to go there first. So the Epstein Barr Virus gets into the area and it latches onto the roots of the hairs and hangs on and damages the nerves. So as the Epstein Barr Virus latches onto those nerves, it's making home in your central nervous system, like its main plan, and it inflames the nerves. So when it gets to this point, it slows down your body so that your vascular system, the oxygen, cannot be delivered throughout the organs, because oxygen keeps the nervous systems strong. Plus, it's an antiviral which is imperative to healing. So when the oxygen is not present or an adequate amount in the body, it creates a compound where the Epstein Barr Virus gets to grow even more and proliferates and contributes to the connective tissue disorder. And thus, why the trending high-fat diets is a big no-no when people are having neurological symptoms, because high fat levels in the bloodstream diminishes oxygen levels and it allows the virus to thrive. And we already know that the standard American diet is bad. It has a lot of trans fats and whatnot. This is the part where I need to start looking into keto. So in stage 4, because we're also going to be dealing with life, it's also going to be dealing with a lot of these triggers, like I mentioned in the previous videos. So the Epstein Barr Virus thrives on those stresses, and you may be experiencing flare-ups. And what are these stresses? You have your cortisol, and also you have your adrenaline, your fight and flight hormone. It's all eating those things. So if you notice that when you're having a bad argument with your loved ones, and all of a sudden you start having these flare-ups to the point where you're like, it's devastating. You start having more pain, you start having more discomfort, you're going through an emotional drop, and it's staying there and it's not able to get out of that funk. That's because the Epstein Barr Virus is releasing all those neurotoxins, dermatoxins, all this stuff. And because of this, the viral symptoms is hitting you even harder than usual. It's becoming its own trauma. Not to mention a physical burden. You're dealing with a lot. So these flare-ups can also occur with this heavy burden between your immune system and the virus, to the point where you'll start developing adrenal fatigue. Now, when this is happening so often, it gets to a point where it starts to develop these neurological fatigue. And most doctors don't even know this. So with this neurological fatigue, it is one of the #1 reasons where roughly 17 out of 100 college students with the Epstein Barr Virus don't even return to school. They go back home. And while they're at home, they're trying to survive. They're trying to survive all these different symptoms that they're going through because of the Epstein Barr Virus. So if your child went to college and then left college and went back home and go through all these symptoms, that's what happened. So the autoimmune link. Everyone that's been having these thyroid issues, looking into their doctors and so on, that's not that experienced in this, is pretty much been blaming their immune system for attacking their body, which you just found out that is far from the case. So if you're having those hypothyroid, the hyperthyroid, and all these different issues, it's all based on the Epstein Barr virus. Now, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Your base, your castle has been attacked. I mean, it's being attacked. Outside the house is being attacked. Inside the house is being attacked. But there's also one good thing. You're going through all these different symptoms because of where it's living out. The basis that's feeding the system, where the system is being attacked. But the best part of this whole thing, is because it's one source. So if you're able to kill that one source, just think of the trickle effect, the domino effect of all those symptoms going away. So if you like this information, if you want to know how to fight back and get those Epstein Barr virus out of your house, get them out of your house, stay tuned, because there's going to be multiple videos that I'm going to be releasing that's going to teach you how to get the Epstein Barr virus out of your house. Regain your castle, because it's your castle. It's not their castle, it's your castle. You're only given one castle. You're only given one castle. Because all of us, our family and friends, don't deserve this. So, stay tuned for the next following videos. Please, 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 comment below and please subscribe, because we're all battling this together and we're all going to get our castle back. So, thank you. Stay healthy. God bless. Peace. And have a beautiful day. Thank you.
Driving round with my baby, top drops and raindrops, motion got me on